It's Friday. Yay! I'm Amanda. My story's, I don't know, somewhere in between everybody else's. When it first started getting popular, right about the time God Will Light a Fire came out, or at least popular in my world, it was summer before my freshman year of high school, and my mom was reading it, and my stepdad was reading it, and my sister was reading it, and I was not reading it because I was going to be a freshman and I was not going to read a book about an 11-year-old lizard. I was not going to read a book about an 11-year-old wizard. I was way too old and too cool, apparently, to read that. So I worked on my English reading for the summer and let my family read and talk about it endlessly. So finally, I could not handle it anymore. I could not handle them talking about you-know-who and hiding all these secrets things from me. But that's what I thought, because I did not understand what this you-know-who business was about. So finally read it and became obsessed with it. And in sophomore year of high school, the group of friends I made became obsessed with it, and since then we've been going to midnight releases for Order of the Phoenix and for Deathly Hallows and Half-Blood Prince and movies, midnight showings and books, and it's just a huge part of my teenage years. But as Nathaniel said, this is our way to keep it on. You know, Harry Potter's not going anywhere just because the books are done and J.K. Rowling says she's not writing again. We do have Pottermore, which I'm registered for, but I'm really excited. I hope this brings together new fans and old fans and kind of continues the sense of unity that's always been among the Harry Potter fans. And as Sean and Nathaniel said, you can read this book one time and you can read it 50 times and you're going to pick up on something different every single time. So pick up your copy. So the good thing about having read it the most, or close to the most, is I get to go at the end of the week. The thing I think is really interesting that I never had really thought about or don't remember thinking about is the first chapter, following Mr. Dursley around and through his life, and it always just made sense because it kind of the pre-Harry thing, and then but I stopped to think about it this time. We spend this chapter following these people around and follow them for this short period of time for this chapter, and then they just play small little guest spots in all of the other books, and I think that's really interesting because it's really important to know where Harry comes from. I mean, we didn't need to spend a chapter or 2 chapters showing Harry growing up or explaining, because she does such a phenomenal job of explaining to you who the Dursleys are before Harry's there, and picking up when he's 11, going on 11, and you understand. I mean, you don't need to explain too in depth how miserable Harry's life must have been, because we saw. But to follow Harry around, you have to understand Harry, and you have to understand where Harry's coming from, otherwise the rest of the series doesn't make any sense. You know, it's like Dumbledore said, if he is raised in the wizard world, he would be a completely different person, and it's so important to the character and where this series goes for him to be the kid that he is. He never would have been that person if he'd been raised as a hero in the wizarding community. So I just think it's fabulous how J.K. Rowling set that up. I know Uncle Ray and Karina brought up the whole topic of, did Harry know he was a wizard? Did he just put it out of his mind? I know that's been an interesting topic we've been discussing, and you know, I kind of want to weigh in. I really don't think he knew, in the sense that consciously he understood that he was a wizard. I mean, that'd be like Karina, me walking up and being like, surprise, you're a wizard. Harry, it's a little different because weird things did happen to him, so I think that's why he does take it so in stride, where he's just like, this is cool, I'm gonna accept it, yay, magic. Karina definitely touched on the topic that I can't stop talking about ever, just don't understand why he has no other family. Like, he was a baby, so Lily and James couldn't have been that old when they died. Where are their parents? Where are James's parents? I mean, Dan definitely brought up the point that they may have died fighting Voldemort. I mean, they state when Harry's a baby, when we first meet Professor McGonagall and Dumbledore, that after 11 years. So a lot of people can die in a war on a small community in 11 years. So, I mean, James's parents definitely make the most sense, but where are Lily and Petunia's parents? Or, I mean, I don't even know. I don't know. J.K. Rowling, if you're watching this, I would love an answer. I want to know where the Evans parents are. Just drop me an email. That'd be great. The part about the zoo trip that just speaks to me the most, it makes me so sad for Harry to read about the way he's treated. I mean, can you imagine living a life where you only get an ice cream or a cheap lemony pop because your aunt and uncle don't want to look bad in front of the lady selling ice cream? I mean, it's sad. So, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited for Harry to leave the Dursleys and go out to Hogwarts, because really at this point, I mean, is any school going to be worse than living with the Dursleys? I think it's sad and maybe not even that interesting. I can understand why people read this book and walked away from this series, but I feel like Harry this young is so important for you to understand Harry at 15 or Harry at 17 when the series ends. So even if you are reading this, maybe, you know, one of us has conned you into reading it for the first time because we want you to watch our videos. If you are, I mean, just stick with it, because you have to get through this book to understand the end. So, and the end is beautiful, and I can't wait to get there because we have a lot more to talk about the further in we get. I think I'm gonna wrap this up now because I feel like I'm just rambling on, but I'm super excited to be starting this. I'm really excited to see Alex's videos tomorrow, and I hope we do get feedback, because there is nothing I love more than talking about Harry Potter. Alright, so yeah, that's definitely going to be it for me. I'm going to wrap this up, try to get it up in time, and come back tomorrow and come back next week and follow along with us. I mean, it's a couple minutes, but what's 10 or hopefully less minutes a day about Harry Potter, about something to love. And so come back, check us out, post the video responses, and Alex, we will chat with you tomorrow.